This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. It's life in football. We are life in football.
You are now listening to the Life in Football podcast. Check out the new website, lifeinfootball.com. Once again, the website is lifeinfootball.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the Life in Football podcast, baby. I'm your host, Mike Feed.
And this your co-host, Colin Moore. You know we loving life and enjoying football.
Top-notch coaches all around the world. Top-notch coaches all around the world. Today we got on Coach Jeff Eaton, Jeffrey Eaton, baby. And he doing his thing right now for them Oregon Ducks. He a strength coach, and he putting in work, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what all programs need. And they are really a special part of any program across the country. The strength and conditioning program is a real strong and a very important part of any program. I ain't just talking about football, but any sports or athletic program. Now, this young man, Coach Eaton, Coach Jeff, baby, he did his thing at a lot of different programs. He did it at Purdue, UNLV, Morgan State, Baylor. He was also a player at once upon a time, doing his thing in football. He went to Lackawanna College, and he also went to Morgan State. And then he got another degree as well, man. So this is a young man who's coming in with a lot of knowledge, or as the people say, wealth of knowledge. And then he's helping young people grow and develop, not just in sports, but in their character, because he's a leader by example. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let C-Mo bring him on.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing.
Hey, it's a blessing to have you on. I'm going to get right into it with you, Coach. So, like I always ask, and I always want to know, when did you know that you actually wanted to work in college football or just work in football in general? Like, when did you find that out and figure it out? Like, hey, this is the career I want for my life.
Honestly, man, I think it would back to high school. A high school strength coach, Dave Wetzel, who pretty much he was the guy that put everybody through the ringer. He was the type of coach that would pull you out of class if you were doing something wrong. Like, he didn't care at all. He wasn't by anybody else's rules, man. He was one of those guys that was just, a no nonsense of a pro. Like, the guys respected him so much. And I think about him, like I would not be where I'm at today. But to answer your question even further, the reason why I wanted to eventually be a coach, I never thought that, police coaching. I just knew that with his guidance and everything that he instilled and belief that he instilled in me, it was a no-brainer that I was going to be the type of coach, whether on the football side or on the strength and conditioning.
Man, that's a blessing, Coach. Like, to have him to catch you so early in the game and mentor you like that. Now, when you got ready to get started, was he the first one that you contacted? Like, Coach, man, this is what I'm thinking about doing.
He's been instrumental in my life. We kind of had where we kind of lost for a little bit, but we reconnected. Honestly, right around when I got my my first internship with Penn State University, he had just reached out to me. I think it was actually on Facebook, and he just kind of kept up doing. I just told him, look, I decided to go, into strength and conditioning because I kind of in your footsteps. And ever since then, he every step of the way, rose through the ranks and had a pretty long career. So, but yeah, ever since then.
Now, Coach, I hear how you say this coach played a very important part in your life, but I also want to hear about your upbringing as far as with your parents and how it was for you growing up.
Yeah. So, young age 5, unfortunately, my mother passed. Just really, really sucked. It kind of shook up our family, and we were living with my dad, and I weren't ever married. They had a great relationship, but I just my dad kind of wasn't to take care of 3 boys, and I was the youngest between all my 2 older brothers, and thank God my mom's sister who basically took us in and said, look, like, I don't care what I got to do, like, I'll drop everything. And she stood up for us, and she took custody of us, and she raised us ever since then. But on that kind of tragic moment, a little bit of a picture of how my youth was gonna go, not having that male influence around. My dad was around, but he wasn't, which is man, being in this field, you hear that so often, with our players, and not having that strong male influence. So that was something that was definitely missing as a child, but to like, she did the best job that she could, man. I can't even, to this day, man, I can't even, young boys after they just lost their mom, her sister, courage to say, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, job, and find a way to put food on the table for all of us. I think, again, man, it really set the standard for hard work, and seeing her go through that, and kind of instill in that work ethic and that comes from, because she exemplified all. She showed us, like, you could do anything you put your mind to. My childhood growing up with my 2 older brothers, going through middle school, really trying to find out who I was. Again, we didn't have that male around, and my brothers were kind of doing their own thing. They were, I was back and forth playing sports, and in trouble every once in a while. Brother Tony was like the straight A student, never missed class guy, and he was, valedictorian, all the above, man. Like, he was real sharp. His brother Andy, who he was kind of wild, and in his footsteps a little bit, got in a little bit of trouble, but me was my brother locked up, and he went away for about 2 years. He was in school for about 2 years, and that really left me by myself, and I kind of had to figure out. As I said, but thankfully, the people that I had around me, everything. My high school coach, at the time, he was the lieutenant on the police force. He's now the chief of police back home. I mean, this dude would literally, like, take me. We'd go eat something. He would, he kind of took me under his wing. Every once in a while, when I would mess up, he would treat me like, that would really, really come down on me pretty hard. But be a blessing, man. Like, I wouldn't have that in me. I really had to understand and learn the hard way, but that's okay. That's part of my journey, and that's part of my story. Childhood and about high school, and trying to figure out who I really am. But that's kind of my childhood, man. Just bouncing all over the place, just really trying to figure out this thing called life. I think and the key to the has always been the people that have been surrounded by me, and I've been by them. So,
Coach, that was a truly moving moment. It sounds like a book, man, and that's a true testament to life in football. And I share something similar with you because I lost my dad at an early age, and my mom, she had three boys, and um it was a tragic moment for her as well, and for all of us. And I always wondered, how she dealt with that, just because she was a 20, young 20-year-old, lady at the time, and for her to just make it through that. And I always wondered, like, what her mindset was like at the initial stages of it. And, but at the same time, it brought a beautiful sister that I have. And it's almost like you have a tragic situation, but another blessing which come behind it, like your situation as well. And my family pitched in, but my mom, she did a lot, but she overcame it as well, and she now has three grown adult men and adult daughter who's doing good out here. So I got to give a shout out to your auntie, your dad, your all your family members, and your coaches, and everybody who helped you to become the person that you are today. And
well,
I gotta
yeah,
go ahead.
100%.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, 100%.
And coach, now I gotta ask you, you know, how it was for you, coming out of high school and playing ball, because it looked like you ended up going to a junior college first and then going to Morgan State. So could you tell us how all that happened?
Yeah, I actually went to Lackawanna Junior College, but I to Lock. So I was at Morgan. I didn't go to Morgan until I got I was in a master's degree there. But yeah, man, like in high school, honestly, I went to the military. Family tree on both sides. My mom and my dad's side are military. I mean, my uncle on my dad's side is a Green Beret. Was in the, and I had my aunt's husband was an ex-Navy SEAL. So I had that background that I really kind of stumbled upon, learning from my aunt in the history of the family. So I go in the middle, and this was around that would have been my junior year, 2000, right around when 9. I asked my aunt, I said, can you sign off? Like, I want to go defend our country. Like, these guys just came over and did some terrorist type stuff, and that didn't, kind of in the back seat. My coach of my football team sat me down. He said, "This is something that you really want, and you really got to think about it because you have a lot of potential. I'm not saying, shatter your dreams or any type of thing, but just what you're saying, because you're only 17." So I had with him, had to talk, and honestly, man, I could just feel her anxiety. She just, her son, nephew, over. You could just see, want to, feel more anxiety in her. So I made kind of move forward from the military at that time. High school, I wasn't your typical straight A guy. Like, I was a guy, and sometimes I was getting C's at A's, but I had to work really, really hard in school. It just didn't really come natural to me. It was something that kind of with my eyes closed. Talked with my head coach again, and I said, "Look, what's the route? I'm not going to the military. Looking for you, it's probably going to be junior college." give yourself a year or two to get your grades up, get your GPA up. Take it from there. You can have an opportunity to transfer into our university. And I haven't heard of anything like that. I was able to pull upon Lackawanna College in Scranton, and had their head coach, Mark Duda, who's a legend in the field. He's been on it for almost 25 years now. To the best, athletes from there. So I ended up going the junior college route, was there for 2 years, and had a really humbling experience. Town where I was from, Pennsylvania, the competition was nowhere near where it was in college. And you get on dudes that are like 4, 5, 6 times bigger. Whoa, like I came so at 200, and I against a star prospect who I figured the university who trained, and I got to go against him every day. That part was absolutely incredible for me because it really helped me really involved into the strength side, man. Like I started lifting weights more, like running, changed, like everything changed for me. Friends that I was hanging out with, like I hung around the dudes that because I wanted to know how they're doing it. And B, I wanted to emulate them, and I wanted to be like them because they were big, fast, and they looked so effortless. I just kind of hung around them, doing and my lifestyle. I was every morning up eating breakfast, going for a run, going to class, and usually it was in the afternoon, but that was kind of, man, like literally weights all the time, like dumbbells, set, we would just crank out and squat, and I mean, you name it, man, to get ahead, and to try to get out, get picked up university. Second year, my sophomore year, had a pretty season, and my grade, I kind of go to Division I, but that route kind of didn't happen. A lot of the offers that I was getting were scholarships, and my family, my aunt wouldn't be able to do that. So Division II, which was completely with me, stumbled upon Lock Haven University, which is like right in the middle of Pennsylvania. It's about away from Penn State, and I was able to get a full scholarship to Lock Haven, and for about 4 years, man, it was a lot of great people there. Some of my best friends that we talk to this day, I play ball, like long relationships with everything that I gained there. That's kind of my story, kind of go from high school to through the college rank.
Coach, I just want to thank you so much, man, for coming on and sharing this very beautiful story. I know your mama is smiling down on you from heaven, and I gotta say thank you again, man, to your auntie for putting in that work and stepping in and doing such a great job. She raised a great young man, and you're gonna be a shining light, man, to the rest of the college football world. And I gotta say, Coach, thank you. Keep doing the work, and I'm gonna leave y'all how I always leave y'all. Keep your head up and not down, or else you'll fall to the ground. This is the Life in Football podcast. Catch you next time.
This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. It's life in football. We are life in football.